In the last part, Goten challenges Jiren in a tournament of power, and it's quite a one-sided battle for the majority of it. Goten used every single ounce of his willpower and even fused back to finish Jiren off after every Saiyan went after him. Goten won the tournament, but just barely. In this part, we have a weird situation happening to Goten and Trunks, so let's continue. Back in Universe 7, on Earth, the gang returns back after having fought the most important battle of their lives. That was a courtesy of the deities. Goten and Trunks have a new power they have reached and are looking forward to the next weekend so they can train up in the time chamber. Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan are currently in a hassle because Vegeta is expecting a new child and cannot train, so they are forced to respect Vegeta's wishes and train alone on Beerus' world. This time, Whis does not interfere because the Tournament of Power is already over, so he has no reason to deliver the baby. Therefore, Bulma goes through it all normally. However though, Whis looks at Goten and Trunks, worried about something, and keeps a serious face, like he knows something. In either case, Whis takes the rest of the Saiyans that want to train to training. Goten and Trunks are going to their week in school, but something feels off to them. In the course of a few days, they've been reporting some strange things to each other that are happening to them. They've been feeling sluggish, unmotivated, and quite depressed, and also deprived of all the energy they had. Bulma and Chi-Chi got very worried as to what's going on, and Chi-Chi even took Goten to places to diagnose him on what's going on. But even that, nobody knows what's going on. Goten has to stay out of school because he would keep talking to someone or something about a curse during class, while he thought he was speaking in his mind. Bulma wasn't particularly worried as she knew that kids nowadays are like that and that it'll pass, but something still is not right. Trunks kept getting those same mental messages and likewise kept talking to himself. On Beerus' world, Whis says something is going on with Goten and Trunks and that it can pose a great threat. Goku and Gohan get scared, asking if the Goten's black situation was really them going evil, but Whis denies. He goes into detail about the Metamoran Fusion and how a very long time ago, when the technique was created, it was abused by Metamorans, and those who abused the technique started getting mentally eaten from within. Whis thinks it's bad because there's two outcomes to it. Either they learn to control that mental image and turn it into power, or they will likely succumb to the power of the Metamoran ancestors and they will end up sending themselves to the other world. Whis is concerned that they won't be able to push through and decides that the two train and do chores while he goes and observes the two teenagers. When Whis arrives on Earth, Goten and Trunks are together and wondering what's gotten into them. They see Whis and he's acting like he usually would, but when asked about this new mental state of theirs, he stays silent. Goten and Trunks then get up, asking Whis what's going on, cause he knows. Whis is hesitant to gawk out, but eventually starts talking how they have overused the fusion too much and now there are consequences. He goes and explains them everything he told Goku and Gohan on Beerus' world, even going more into detail in the two outcomes that can happen to them. Goten and Trunks don't really have an answer to that. They can only hope their willpower won't destroy them. They tell Whis about the voices and shitty mood, and Whis already knows it's gonna turn real bad, real fast. He gives some advice about the voices in the head and that those are just their own consciousness talking to them and to try ignoring it. Meanwhile, with Goku and Gohan, Goku is concerned with what Whis said, and so is Gohan. Goku needs answers from the people that taught him that technique, so he tells Gohan to stay on Beerus' planet while he goes over to the other world for answers. Gohan abides, and so Goku instant transmissions to the other world and visits the Metamorans responsible for teaching him the fusion dance. They tell him that indeed it can happen if they're constantly fusing and abusing the fusion. Only a few people out of millions who know the technique and abuse it survived. Another one questions if it's perhaps a duo called Goten and Trunks. Goku is surprised to find out they know his son without mentioning, but he continues on how the two may just have a good chance of recovering, having sensed the mental destruction they're having to endure. Goku is still scared for that fact and knows he can't do anything, but he thanks the Metamorans for the help and comes back to Gohan, explaining the entire encounter. Back to Goten and Trunks, Whis is there to guide them through the process, but just as they're about to get comfortable, Jaco comes by with random people and they ask around for the Saiyans, to which Bulma says they're training on Beerus' world. Jaco can sense Goten and Trunks are currently exerting ki on Earth, but Bulma says they cannot help out in any fighting. Jaco does not care, and neither does the rest that came with him, so they knock the two out and depart with them. Whis shares a glance with one of them before they departed, and the other one smiles. On what we now see is a galactic patrol ship. The two awaken and get anxious as to what's going on and where they are, but Beerus calms the situation down, saying not to be worried. Beerus sees that the two are battling their mental struggle, but has a positive feeling about it. He introduces himself, states his intentions, and gets on explaining what they need and why it's so important. They need to neutralize a foe called Moro that has just escaped the galactic prison and has some weird abilities that he also explains. Goten and Trunks mention how they don't know if they're gonna be able to fight since they cannot fuse anymore due to an issue, to which Beerus is well aware of and says it out loud as Metamoran Curse. Goten and Trunks are amazed Beerus knows about it, but don't care enough to ask how. They say that you can't and they're going through to get Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan to help out with the task, but Beerus says he cannot get to them and neither can they. Goten tries to instant transmission to his father and then his brother, but neither of them works, so they're it for the mission. That said, Beerus explains the mission: when, where, who, how, and why. Goten and Trunks have to take it, regardless of how fucked they feel, and they go towards New Namek, where Moro is currently residing. On the planet, the second they land they sense a menacing aura, as well as their ki starting to get dragged out. They can sense where all the power is going, so with a heavy heart, they go to see what's going on and to get rid of it as quickly as they possibly can. The closer they get to Moro, the more they can sense his true power. Trunks gets a little bit hyped for it, all while Goten is pissing his pants. Once they get to him, Trunks says he will fight first to see where he stands against him. Trying to transform into a Super Saiyan, Trunks is having issues since his mind isn't clear anymore. He struggles but ends up transforming. After transforming, he goes for it but ends up being thrown around like a pebble, all while Moro is chilling in the seat. Trunks is surprised to see that Moro is still chilling, so he goes to step it up to Super Saiyan Blue. He doesn't have control as his mind is all over the place, so he enters Super Saiyan God with difficulty and starts making a dent on Moro. Moro, however, uses the planet's energy to hit Trunks with a flurry of energy attacks, which confuses Trunks and makes him angry. Trunks tries to power up further beyond, but it doesn't work. He just doesn't have no focus to manage, which gets him bitter. He tries to transform with every fiber of his body, but he doesn't achieve anything except close calls. Trunks gets infuriated, absolutely livid by this curse he's gotten, and just tries putting everything he can to power up. He ditches the entire feeling of depression he has accumulated, stops thinking about everything, and decides he doesn't give a solitary fuck. He sees there's nobody else to protect them, no fusion they could go into to make him stronger, nothing else to consider, and with that, his hair spikes up, his eyes whiten, and his aura spikes into a dark mist-like aura. Goten looks on to see something unexpected from Trunks, something he's never seen before. Trunks is now seen with his eyebrows deleted, enveloped in dark aura and interesting purplish hair. Goten senses familiarity with the energy he's sensing from Trunks, sensing it like it's the energy they have as Gotenks. Trunks has unleashed the fusion curse, having the full power of the fusion he has been abusing for a long time. Moro is scared to see the power, so he tries stealing it as fast as possible in order to get him out of the way. But something's wrong. The energy he's taking from Trunks feels off. It's really negative and it begins slowly attacking him from the inside, as Moro grabs his head and starts stealing more energy. Trunks is looking into Moro's eyes as Moro is in extreme agony. Trunks is at that point not in full control, but rather the part of it is controlled by a primal Saiyan beast within it. Trunks closing in the distance between him and Moro, pouring and gifting more energy to him, as Moro's power plummets down and he slowly starts decaying. The fusion curse is making Moro shrivel up and wither away as he writhes in pain. Dying off in agony, Moro is now gone, and new Namek is saved. Trunks looks on to Goten, smiling and going out of this newfound form. We're continuing the series next time. While you wait for the next part, join the T23 Discord server with the vanity URL down in the description. Thank you for watching, and with that, peace out.